Right. Okay. Just to let our viewers know, Sudhanshu is still not with us. We're trying to fix. May have been a technical issue on his front, but we'll try and see when we can get him onto the discussion. But for the moment, Nikhil, I'll come to you. This is something that Anupam said right at the start, that they're in a sense gearing up for digital engagement and television engagement for the audience and gearing themselves up for having no crowds in the stadium. But how does it affect a sponsor? And I say that with regards to you do a lot of on ground activities. Other than that, you've got passes for your regular customers as well as clients that you entertain at the stadium. With no crowds around, how is it going to affect you as a sponsor?
Thanks, Nikhil, and thanks for having me on the panel. I think just looking at just the magnitude of what it does, right, from a sponsor perspective, it's cricket itself alone is kind of a $2 billion industry or more, with majority of it, two-thirds out of coming out of India, right, globally I'm talking about, which is both what India posts and maybe one-third of what India takes abroad in terms of revenue. And out of that, about 75% of that revenue is from broadcasting media, and the rest is ticketing and hospitality. So we're talking about that 75%, which is a big part of, as a sponsor. I think the way we are looking at it, clearly, we love to engage and participate because sports is unifier. It's a common denominator. And especially in this time, it will bring people together and, motivate and inspire, because if you look back at the history, this is one place, this is one ecosystem, which is, the best use case for us to kind of get through this crisis. That being said, I think, how sponsorships were being measured previously, right? Which was brand impressions, visibility, how much kind of audience would I get? I think we're looking at a little different lens to say, okay, uh, is the sports not only going to be about sports, but is it going to be a purpose-driven sports, right? Even when it comes back into the stadiums, even if it's without fans, for us to evaluate the returns, we're looking at commercial returns and we're also looking at community returns, which is like, people in today's environment would want to see both, right? So I think empty stadium is fine as far as we look at the brand, because ultimately, 75-80% is from media and broadcasting. But how the sport is played, and I just want to give one example, right? I mean, in the historical terms, all sports are being played for both excitement, fun, and commercial. I think now we have to add an element of social, right? And sports comes together, for example, in an empty stadium, are able to raise the money we need today to help a lot of stuff which is going on, right? I think that element will attract a brand, because brand is not looking at commercial partnership, but also, societal community giving back sponsorship. So I think empty stadium is not that much of a worry. I think there are digital ways to, bring it out, because most of the engagement does happen digitally and socially. But how it's going to be played, and how the teams are going to show up and how they're going to give back, as an ecosystem to what is needed, I think will be important consideration for the brands to go with which league and which team.